Okay, you guys, we are back with another banging video. In this video, guys, we're gonna talk about Cardi B tour. Some critics are saying it is not doing so well because she has several cities lined up, and they're saying only 2 cities have been sold out so far. But I'm gonna tell you guys this. I think the tour is doing good. I think the tour sales, it's doing good for a celebrity, for an entertainer who is not an A-list entertainer. She's not a A-list entertainer, and that's true. A lot of hype with Cardi B, it's just tweaked, right? But she is not in the category of a Beyonce, a Shakira, a Rihanna, a Mariah Carey. So her tour is going to be different. I do believe that a lot of critics are saying it's not doing well, but I think it is doing well based on the fact that she's Cardi B. You have to think about it from a logical perspective, right? And before I get further into this video, I want to say to you guys, there have been numerous warnings about snowstorms, a major snowstorm that is coming up. They're telling families to ensure that expect to be out of power for a few days. So have enough blankets and stuff for your kids. Have cold and cough medicines as well. Also, they're encouraging you guys to have enough food and water saved for at least, I think, a week. But I would say try to have enough food and water saved for a month, because normally in severe snowstorms like that, things can be seriously unpredictable. And what I would say to families who have the kids, and you may say you have been through this before, but what I want you guys to know is that we're close to global boiling at this point. So nothing that we're experiencing with weather will ever be the same like it was last year and the year before. If you notice, we saw a lot of places worldwide flooding out, and even where there were no rivers, there was a foam storm coming from the ocean. I forgot what country that was. Foam storm coming from the ocean. And when that foam sits on the land, that's sea salt. And that area, their number one source of survival is farming. And can you imagine that foam storm in that country and that salt sitting on the land? That's devastation. We are in Revelation. We're in judgment era. Don't look at this storm as you did the one last year. Be more prepared. If you have a large family, I would say, I don't know how big, especially the smaller kids, keep everyone in one room. If y'all can camp out in the living room with sleeping bags, heater, they're saying also be prepared to be without electricity. So you have to have the necessary blankets, warmers, etc. to keep you. Ensure that you have food stored that needs little to no preparation. And I know it's going to be cold, so you're going to need to have something warm. So think of an alternative means, to get something warm for your family, for your kids. It could even be just hot chocolate. It could even be ramen. You're going to need something warm. So just think of alternative methods, alternative measures. Be safe. Keep your family safe. If you have your water storage facility outside, do not rely on that. Get some water storage outside, even for your toilet. Okay? Get some water storage inside for your toilet. During that time, you don't need to shower that much. What you need to focus on is flushing your toilet that much. Okay? And if you notice there's a water crisis, when you do number 1, you don't need to flush because it's a crisis. you number one can flush at a particular time, and when you do number two, you know you have to flush. And if you have water issues and there's a number one and you can't flush that often, what you're going to do is just to add some good disinfectant in the toilet bowl, or if you have tea tree oil, you add that, and it keeps that scent in the toilet bowl if you have to limit your flushing, okay? Hope that helps. Now, we are going to go into Cardi B's tour because she has only sold out in two cities so far, Los Angeles and New York. And people are saying the tour is not doing well. But I beg to differ. This is Cardi B. This is no Beyonce, right? This is no Michael Jackson. This is no Kanye West. This is Cardi B. She is an entertainer, and she's going to entertain. But there was one major call out that I saw on her Instagram page. People were dragging her when she put up that BTS photo shoot. They were saying, "You're stupid. You're not coming to this area, and this is where most of your fans are. You're not coming to that area, and this is where most of your fans are." I think what they did is to target areas where they know tours always do well. Any area that is a high-risk area for low ticket sales are out of it. But as the commentators in her comments were saying, she has missed out some major hotspots as to where her fans are. I think what her team is looking at is the fact that those areas could be a potentially low ticket sales area. They will leave you out if they look at economy, they look at so many things, which is oftentimes not a true reflection of how she will receive support. And I'm going to tell you that from experience of, having such experience in that field. I have a little bit of experience in that field in terms of, ticket sales, tour. I have a little bit of experience in that field. So the market research that they do, they look at other celebrity tours. They also look at where her fan base is, like when they use her streaming geolocations, and they see where she's being streamed the most and all of that. But sometimes there are hot spots for that celebrity that they see as a area that has low economy, and as such they believe that those areas may not do well, and they skip out of those areas when those areas are her die-hard areas where people are going to spend their last to support her. They're going to rob a bank if they have to support her. And based on what the comment section was saying, she has missed few of those areas. But it's not her. It's the people who are helping her with it. Okay. So I want to get to some of those comments. One moment. So Atlanta, New York, those would have been Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles would have been the hot spot. I don't know, how is it that she's not going to? People in New Orleans are saying, "Girl, what are you doing?" And that comment as just 247 likes. But the thing is, someone said, "Cousin, I think she can fit us in between Houston and Austin." And it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I think everyone just wants a tour. I think the team did. I think there was one place that I realized, and when I looked it up, because I was looking at the comments when TMZ released the BTS video photo shoot, and I was going through the comment section and I was looking at the areas that people are saying she missed, and I researched one of the areas and it was in fact her hotspot, but New Orleans, no New Orleans. There are quite a few people saying no New Orleans, and people are telling her to come to Spain. I don't think she would have done well in Spain. She has a few fans there, but Spain, Cardi B, no. I would say Mexico. I'm trying to find out. I don't know. I was seeing some people said Tampa. Some are saying Central Florida. So Mexico, Mexico. I think she should have gone to Mexico. Chicago. People are telling her North Florida sucks. And it does, looking at the ticket sales. But I think they used the streaming to determine, and they use also economy to determine. They look at where tours have been doing well, and as such, that's where she's going. No, I think even though there are only 2 cities that have been sold out, I still think it's doing well. I think so far the tour is doing well because, as I've said, the economy, it's really tight. And for anyone to be spending any money going to any celebrity tour at this point, that celebrity needs to consider themselves lucky because a lot of people are focused on saving their money to leave the country, saving their money to have more than enough food supplies. People are stocking up on food and medicine. The storm is coming. People are saying the war is coming. You can tell that it's going to be America's war year. It is going to be America's war year. You can tell. Greenland, where is he going again? Yemen or somewhere there that they bombed the other day. And you guys have to also, when you see Trump, let me include this as well. When you see, if you live in any country, it's not just America, that bombs here, bombs there, supports people to carry out genocide, you have to realize that 2026 is America's war year. You have to try your best to avoid the large public gatherings as much as possible. I'm not talking about Cardi B's tour, right? I'm talking about the celebrations that has to do with your American history, with the holidays and all of that. Those are the large gatherings that you should be careful of. The Christmas, the Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, whatever that, what is that annual event in New York again, where they just flock Times Square? And it seems as though New York is always coming up in the discussions. And if you live in New York, just avoid all large gatherings this year, I would say, because just look at what is happening. Remember that 5 Cuban nationals died when they invaded Venezuela, bombed Venezuela. So at least 5 to 6 Cuban nationals died. Already they are investigating the Havana syndrome, which they believe something was released on some American tourists in Havana. One lady in Florida said she was at home. She felt weird and kind of blackout. She works with the CIA, and they're calling it the Havana syndrome because they believe it is from Havana, Cuba. Trump wants Jamaica to get the Cubans out of here. He wants the Chinese out of here as well. And that is why Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, shouldn't have been on that list. If anyone doesn't know, Jamaica shouldn't have been on that list because there's a long time agreement that exists between Jamaica, which involves England, right? So England and America had an agreement with Jamaica. Over the years, our leaders have been working to pull America's hands off us because they have an area here that they have leased from the monarchy, and the lease was for over 100 years, and that lease is not going to end until 2036. Many people say it's just for Vernon Field, but when I was researching, it wasn't just for Vernon Field. We don't want America here because they want to come into Jamaica. This is where they wanted to set up their radar satellite to invade Venezuela. Listen, Hurricane Melissa took lives, but thank God for Hurricane Melissa. We had problems of our own because when the American soldiers came here, they stayed longer than they kept extending the grant to us. They kept extending more grants to us, extending it. And I'm going to tell you this on a very serious note. Without those American soldiers, many people who were in hospitals in critical care, they wouldn't have made it. Many of the babies in critical care, they wouldn't have made it. But we don't want to facilitate a war when it comes to our neighbors because Jamaica is friends to all, enemies of none. But I don't know what's going to be the final decisions because the relationship between Jamaica and Cuba, it goes way back. Jamaica and Cuba has an unbreakable bond just the same. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But you guys have to realize that this is America war year. And for people to spend their hard-earned cash to even buy 2 cities with most of the other cities doing okay, I think that is pretty impressive at this point. And she's no Beyonce, she's no Taylor Swift, so we have to be honest and we have to be realistic. I think she's doing okay for her tour so far. I think she's doing okay. As a matter of fact, I think she's doing well. She's not Michael Jackson. She's not Bruno Mars. She's not Beyonce. She's not J-Lo. She's not Shakira. She's not Taylor Swift. I think she's doing well. Maybe just 2 cities, but she's doing well. She has added some extra dates to maximize the momentum, based on what I'm learning. She has had some extra places based on requests. Def Leppard sees the palace, so she has Las Vegas. Was Las Vegas one of the places that she added last? Because I remember when I was looking at it, I was saying, why am I not seeing Las Vegas? Why would she miss out on Las Vegas? But I don't know. But LA, New York City, Atlanta, those are going to be her hot spots. New York, has a strong fan base. Atlanta sold out, showing her southern popularity. Extra dates were added for Los Angeles. LA is all about festival and events. LA people, they love to go out. They love to party. But the thing is that I'm concerned for her in LA. LA is based on her performance, based on how she performs. I think she's going to really have to come with something good for LA and have a few, I don't know who, but she's going to take a few people on her tour. I hope she doesn't take the girls who are way down. I hope she has a mixture as well of male and female on this tour with her. But that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.